If you guys haven't seen them, it's like a
Yeah.
documentary kind of slash movie. It's called Free Solo. It's really cool. It's about this guy that
Heard
I
of this
think it's
one.
on Disney Plus, but he climbs mountains with no like safety equipment. Like he will climb a mountain raw. And they did a brain scan on him, and they find like his reward patterns, like they're not wired regularly. Like he needs this kind of, like he doesn't feel danger the same way,
Yeah.
so he needs this kind of like activity to just feel something.
What
Really
is it?
weird.
The amygdala, right? It's the
Yeah,
amygdala is the fear, not hormone, but fear. Yeah, yeah. I think that like
Center.
so it sounds like for him it doesn't light up that high.
yeah. So he needs to do like something high impact. But it's
It's
a
crazy.
really cool movie. Like it shows how like he's not dumb. Like he's not gonna do something risky just because it's risky. Like he does like practice, and if he feels unsafe, he'll stop a climb. But still, like
Practice?
yeah, practice. Are we talking about practice?
He's logical, but he just doesn't.
Mhm.
He feels so he's logical. He just doesn't see the fear the same way. I remember like watching these. So I love watching these
Grey's
doctor
Anatomy?
or like medical shows, like
Go ahead.
House or yeah, or not really Grey's Anatomy, but The Good Doctor. And there was one case where this lady just did not feel pain, right, at all. So like physical pain or emotional pain, right? And she just wasn't wired that way. And that's like so interesting. So it's kind of related where this guy just doesn't feel the same reward threshold. And so it just changes how you perceive the world, it changes what you do. It's so interesting how your mind and how it's created lets you experience the world in a different way as well, right? Entirely. Yeah, very interesting.
Speaking of movies, we were talking about this, me and Tran, about watching Oppenheimer. It looks sick.
Yo, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go watch
Yeah,
it.
so down.
Ali?
Ali, yeah. Ali wants to go watch Barbie.
FaceTime me in. FaceTime me in. Man, like half our campaigns right now are all around Barbie. Like half our marketing campaigns are right.
It's crazy. It's crazy. What we'll do is we'll
Ali, does
zoom
it
in.
happen
Yeah,
often
zoom in.
where like
Just,
a
like,
big
record.
movie will tie into like a lot of different marketing campaigns?
I'm not joking. Like, so we've done so many campaigns this week using the Barbie thing. Like we've like different
What do you mean?
reels
Like
and
using the
different, like-
colors and stuff?
yeah, exactly. Like pink. Here's some like pink glasses. Here's some pink
what?
shoes. Right?
But how do you tie it in? Is
Yeah,
it
like,
just
for,
like you're
makes sense. You gotta
using the
different.
trend of those ads like to
yeah, like everybody's into Barbie right now, right? So like and the color pink. So he's like, we're in like Barbie mode. Here's some like cool frames. They're like brand name frames. It's like here's some cool brand name
Oh,
glasses.
wow.
Like
Yeah, it makes it sense
pink
it's Barbie and not
glasses.
Oppenheimer, because I don't think tying into nuclear war
Well-
is like a great marketing
Well,
scheme.
there's a poster. There's a poster or some sort of ad I saw somewhere where they have Barbie on one side with the pink background, and you have Oppenheimer on the other side. Yeah, and they made it work. It looked really good because it's two contrasting images. Because Oppenheimer is definitely obviously a different vibe, right? Like darker imagery.
Yeah.
Just the styling is different, and then Barbie, you got bright ass colors. So it looked really cool seeing the contrast.
Yeah, it's like new explosion. We got explosive deals.
Yo, Ali, you gotta use that, man. Explosive
Ali's
deal?
going. He's already doing it right now. He's setting it up. He's taking it.
Sending out an email blast.
Get
right now.
exposure to these insane discounts.
These radiating deals. That's too bad. That's too much. Sorry. Don't
One
cancel
thing
me.
I find interesting, we talked about like the business of running a movie theater, and like I guess Barbie and Oppenheimer are like, I guess for the first time in a long time, like two big releases. And then I just realized like that's really it. Like we've had mediocre releases for so long that like I didn't even realize.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's so funny. I went to go watch Mission Impossible last Friday, right? And you know the kind of before
Yeah.
the movie starts, they play all those reels and all that kind of stuff, right? And I think like 4 of them. One was Tom Cruise and I think the director or whatever, him, and then also a bunch of others, they're like, this is a movie theaters only release, right? We're not going to release it anywhere. Thank you for coming out, etc. Blah blah. And 3 other times, other movies mention that, like, this is going to be a theater only release. So I think there's a huge push for coming to the theaters and experiencing it that way, and this is only going to be a theatrical release.
But
Versus
only the people
like how
at the movies will see that. So
But then,
true,
yeah, like
but
what
like
Kalinda's doing right
it's
now,
like word of mouth,
right? That's gonna happen.
yeah.
yeah. Like they made it a point to like put this in your face like 4
Yeah,
times.
they must be
But
feeling the
eventually-
hurt.
I was like shocked. I was like,
Eventually, they're gonna
They would never
stream
do that.
it, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have
they
to.
had the
It
same
makes
they had
no
the same
sense.
message for Avatar.
I'll be honest. Every once in a while, I still get that thing. It's like it's like you want to do something. Should we go to the movies? But then it's just always like, especially if you're just going like you and like significant other or like just you and like a friend. It's like, well, might as well just stay in. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
that could
Like,
be
it does come to
laziness
my
too.
mind to
That
go,
could be
but
just
I
like
Ali
never
just
end up
Ali,
pure
Ali just wants to
laziness.
Netflix and chill, you know.
Yeah, like,
But no, Ali has a point. Like I think when you get into the mindset of like, oh, why would I go to see this in the theater when it will just release in like Netflix in like 5 weeks?
That's
Like, and I can watch it. Like, I can make them order food at home. It's a lot chiller experience. Like, why do I want to make the effort to go to the theaters? And I think that's why they're like, I guess movie companies are scared that they're putting these messages saying like, no, like you have to come watch it in theaters.
and it's quite reasonable to have,
Yeah.
or I should say, the cost of creating your own little home theater setup is not as much as it used to be back in the day. Like you could have a nice couch with like the leg rests and like laid back, whatever. You have a massage chair if you want. Those
Yep.
things don't cost as much as it did back in the day. TVs, you can get a 65, 70, 75-inch TV for $1,000.
Yeah.
1,100, 1,200.
for the cost of three popcorns at a movie.
Literally. And the internet is so fast these days where like
Honestly.
streaming is not an issue. And it's
Yeah.
unlimited data, right? You could stream whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You know, have like 10 movies running at the same time in each room in the house.
Side comment: when me and my wife were house hunting, we saw a house that had its own private theater. Obviously, we didn't get the house, but like, damn, could you imagine?
Yeah, my wife's parents' house, they had like a theater room like that, like where it's like they had the couches that like came out and like a
Yeah.
whole screen, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah.
I think it's a little bit more. It's just you got there in the GTA. You gotta get out of there.
Ali's like, I have it right here.
Yo, get out of GTA.
It's true, man. For a shack, like it's like, my dad was joking. I really
I
hope
hope
so, but
so.
we have a shed at the back, and he literally, it's like I think probably like 8 foot by like 9 foot shed.
$300,000.
No, he's like we could probably rent this for $400 or $500. Like it has like it has
Amenities.
amenities. Like he's
Amenities.
like I don't know how to say that word. Amenities. There you go. Thank you. And so it has like we can put a like a toilet and like a sink in there.
What about a
right? And he's
shower?
like,
What
there you
about
go,
a shower?
bachelor
Yeah.
apartment. I'm like,
Like a
yeah,
stand-up.
you probably put that in there too if it has the plumbing, right? If those two things are already there, exactly. And so he's like, then you just need to put a bed in there and you're good. And I'm like, that'd be crazy.
Yo,
And
people will.
How much would
People
somebody
will
actually pay for
man.
that? And
It's
like
rough out there.
Yeah.
$400. It is. And so that I was like, damn. Like we used to have those jokes, those memes where it's like
Well,
you show a shack
that's
and it's
a-
like $300,000.
That's a
Ali just said,
legit
but it's actually
strategy
true.
that some investors do. They'll pick up properties with big garden sheds or garages, double garages that they could potentially convert into a little like bachelor suite or a little 1 bed, 2 bed type
Right.
spot. And people actually do
Yeah.
that when they go for they look for the houses to potentially invest in. They look at the main property, obviously, but they look at what could they do with the structures around it, or if there's enough land to create a shed that could turn into a little apartment. It's
Are
crazy.
garage apartments legal?
Yeah, in
They are?
certain
I think
municipal.
especially, Isn't there a new thing now
So
too?
I don't know about the GTA, but I
Like
know
the
in
whole
certain municipalities
uh,
you can, like in Kawartha Lakes.
Wow.
In Kawartha Lakes, you can. Peterborough, Lindsay area, you can actually convert your garage into a little apartment. Obviously, there's rules and regulations and red tape, but it's completely
yeah.
possible to do that. You can do that no problem. And I don't think you even have to get a proper zoning or rezone. You can just like do it. You can have up to one additional secondary suite, either no, this is on top of even having a basement apartment. So you could have a main level basement apartment and a secondary suite outside attached or detached.
Interesting. Good to know.
And to be honest, like they'll probably allow
Yeah, yeah.
this in the GTA soon as well, right? Just because think about the rents, it's like they have to. Like I know our basement apartment got approved very quickly, right? And that's fair
What
because
you didn't have a basement
they
before?
were
Like
likely to.
what were you getting like accepted for? There was no basement at all before. You had to
Yeah,
separate.
yeah. There was no basement. Like we had a basement. Like you could walk down into the basement, but it wasn't built, and so it wasn't a secondary
Mhm.
dwelling. And so we had to get approvals for like a side entrance that we had to
Hmm.
create because you have a
Yeah.
separate entrance for the rent tenants, and so it has a side entrance now, and we had to get our layout approved. So we sent a architectural drawing to them, and they said, okay, yeah, one half is going to be for them, one half is going to be for us, and so we have stairs going down into our side, and they have stairs separately for their apartment. But I wouldn't be surprised in the next coming years, they're just going to be like, yeah, if you want to turn your second half into
Oh yeah.
another basement apartment, you probably could legally. Right now, they wouldn't allow that, right? They don't allow the third dwelling, but to be honest, if we probably pushed in the
Yeah.
next couple
I
years,
don't
I
know if you
think they'll
guys have
allow it.
followed like the housing
It's like
reports
crazy
on like
there.
what they want to build and what they've built so far. They've I think they're off by like 100,000 houses, like every year, based on what like the
Easy.
growth projections are for Ontario and like what the
Yeah.
mark they had sent. It's like, yeah, it's pretty bad.
And now the H-1 visa
Oh yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah.
like
So
they're
I'm
trying to
like,
get more tech
bro, I
workers and
mean,
things like
sure, if you
that.
want to live in,
Yeah.
I don't know, Manitoba.
Well, so like people from third world countries will take it. That's the thing.
I can see a case for H1B visas specifically if they're scared about their immigration status in the states. But I don't know if it really H1Bs are like on a weird scale where like there's no middle ground. There's like either you're working at a code mill or you're actually like a very highly paid technical person. I can see someone, yeah, like a very like it's
Oh.
obviously geared more towards like working at a code mill or something. Where I guess like if you have better prospects in Canada, you would it's a probably enticing offer. But if you're actually one of the people that the H1B was meant for, where like you're actually a very highly sought like tech worker, then I for those kind of works, I don't think it makes sense to move because they probably make a lot more in the states.
Right.
Yeah, I was
But
just
then
gonna
I
ask that.
like okay,
Oh, code
what's a
mill,
code
it's
mill?
like they're just like I don't know, like consultancy firms where they will rush out a product for any client as soon as possible, like not caring about like standards, quality,
Mm,
like as long as it meets like the
quality.
barest of the bare minimum, probably even less than that, then they're good. Like, yeah, they'll just crank out code until the client's like, okay, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Does it meet the requirements? Yes. All right, take out a feature. This is too good. All right. But yeah, that's fair. Like I think the point was where what I heard is it's like they're worried about immigration, right? They're bringing everybody on board, and these people, even though they work at a code mill, they'll be paid a certain amount above like a normal service job, someone working at McDonald's, obviously, right? And so they have enough money to be able to spend on real estate. It's going to drive real estate prices even more up, and the supply is still not increasing enough for these people to come in. So it's like we were already had high immigration. Now they brought the H-1B visa thing, and they're going to have more immigration, but the supply of houses isn't going up. It's like,
Something's got to
what are you
give.
guys doing?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it doesn't look like they're slowing down on immigration. They got to open the floodgates to make it easier to build.
yep. I agree with that. Easier to build plus zoning, multi-dwelling housing, all that. Like it really needs to like be I don't know. There needs to be an alignment across a lot of levels